In this lesson, we are going to learn about situations where weightlessness is experienced. Most people think they will never get a chance to experience weightlessness the same way astronauts orbiting the Earth do. Moving through the air with no harness, no parachute, nothing except you and the air around you is a sensation that one has to feel to believe. You cannot escape Earth's gravity anywhere near Earth. You can experience weightlessness, but how? You can experience weightlessness by becoming an astronaut orbiting Earth in a spaceship, riding a free-fall tower at an amusement park, or flying in the special NASA plane. How can you feel the weightless sensation? Weightlessness is a sensation experienced by an individual when there are no external objects touching one's body and exerting a push or pull upon it. Weightless sensations exist when all contact forces are removed. These sensations are common in any situation in which you are momentarily or perpetually in a state of free fall. When in free fall, the only force acting upon your body is the force of gravity, a non-contact force. Since the force of gravity cannot be felt without any other opposing forces, you would have no sensation of it. You would feel weightless when in a state of free fall. These feelings of weightlessness are common at amusement parks for riders of free-fall towers and other rides in which riders are momentarily airborne and lifted out of their seats. Suppose that you were lifted in your chair to the top of a very high tower, and then your chair is suddenly dropped. As you and your chair fall towards the ground, you both accelerate at the same rate, g. Since the chair is unstable, falling at the same rate as you, it is unable to push upon you. The force of gravity is the only force acting upon your body. There are no stable external objects touching your body and exerting a force. As such, you would experience a weightless sensation. You would weigh the same as you are, yet you would not have any sensation of this weight. What do you think the astronauts feel when they are shot out into space? We can experience the feeling when we ride on the reverse bungee. The rider will be strapped into a capsule attached to cables and then catapulted into the sky. When the capsule is shot into the air, it travels up to 120 kilometers per hour in 2 seconds, and a person can experience 5 times the force of gravity. At the top, the rider will get a feeling of weightlessness for a short while, similar to what astronauts feel. In training astronauts for a real weightlessness environment, NASA uses weightlessness training programs. One such program is nicknamed the Vomit Comet. This is an airplane, the KC-135, which allows the astronauts to experience weightlessness for 20 to 30-second intervals, an effective and inexpensive means of testing experiments before they go to space. The plane flies in a series of parabolic patterns. This was first done in July of 1978 by Guyon S. Bluford. The KC-135 is basically a Boeing 737 with bigger engines. It flies through a series of parabolas that allow the occupants to experience various levels of gravity. The pilots guide these jets on carefully designed parabolic trajectories that resemble a roller coaster ride. At the top, the pilot throttles back and noses over, letting the plane dive to give everyone about 20 to 30 seconds of free fall. Actually, it varies between 0.01 G to 0.001 G. It's not nearly as good or as long as being in orbit. They do this 40 times on each mission, so they get about 13 minutes of microgravity time. Zero-gravity parabolas generally involve a climb at a 45 to 50-degree angle, then a quick transition into a dive at a 50-degree angle. At the top of the parabola, you experience 0G. At the bottom, it's about 2G. The transition time is only about 3 seconds between the two, so you go from being pinned to the floor to floating in 3 seconds. On the other side, you go from floating to be pinned to the floor in 3 seconds. You have to make sure your feet are pointed to the ground before the 2G part hits, or you land hard. At 2G, you weigh twice your body weight. Even holding up a small camcorder is a difficult task. You do 30 to 40 parabolas in a row. The last two parabolas are a lunar and a Martian, meaning the moon's gravity and Mars's gravity. The lunar is fun. You get to bounce around and look like the moon astronauts walking. It's called the vomit comet for a reason. You do 30 to 40 parabolas in a row, which can make you a little uneasy, but it's also a lot of fun. Weightlessness is a sensation experienced by an individual when all contact forces acting on the individual are removed. The weightlessness feeling happens when we are in the state of free fall. Weightlessness on Earth can be experienced by riding a free fall tower at an amusement park or flying in a zero-gravity plane.